Hi guys, welcome in. Oh, it's been a minute. It's been a minute to said that. This is your first time here. Hi, I'm your friendly neighborhood Dex. I am a reader. I am a lot of things, all of the things. And today we are looking at what is your magical girl story. So this is going to be more towards entertainment. I'm not going to focus it on like receiving messages or guidance as much. But if you've gotten a reading from me before, you know that they still come through. They just slip on in there. But I'm doing it one because the world is really chaotic right now. There's a lot of intense energies that we're all working through and battling through. And I feel like storytelling and reading, just escaping from reality, is a great way to just make sure that we're in good health and in good spirits and taking care of ourselves. This month is also the 33rd anniversary of the Sailor Moon anime airing for the first time. It's also the month that we've got the pilot proof, I guess, for the new anime. Pretty please, I don't want to be a magical girl. If you have not seen that, definitely go watch it. I'm so inspired. It's kind of like a deconstruction, but also an homage to old school like magical girl series. And I'm totally in love and can't wait to see what that creator does with that story. Super pumped for that. So again, this is going to be your magical girl. What kind of magical girl you are, what your powers are, who your companions are, what your story is, and then also what kind of opposition you're up against. So if that interests you, definitely stick around. If you want something more serious or just a message from spirit or source, I totally understand. You can go onto my other videos on this page or onto my Instagram, same name, Dexion Dusk, to receive that. Or you can go to my website, dexiondusk.com, to book a private reading, a personal reading. All right? So without further ado, this is pile one, pile two, pile three, and pile four. Give you guys time to sit, meditate, see which one you're pulled to, and I'll be back. All right, welcome in pile one. So this is your magical girl reading. So we're going to start off with this deck. This is the Citadel deck. All of the decks that I'm going to be using today will be linked in the bio. So if anything catches your eye, definitely go down there and check it out. But this particular deck is going to tell me about your normal life, your human life, okay? So who you are before you discover your magical powers, your destiny, all of that fun stuff. So who are you in your everyday life? For pile number one. You guys are the first pile, so you get to see me shuffle and do all of the things. All right. Who is pile one in their everyday life? You got... Oh, the witch. You couldn't even help it, pile one. All right, the witch. Experimentation, rebellion. Experimentation, rebellion. I'm actually going to read the first description of that out of the book to give you more of a synopsis, more of a background into who your character is. So we have the witch. The scent of new fruit hangs in the air, bright and refreshing. A pestle grinds in its bowl. The sound of stone on stone, a soothing repetition. Just as the first plants of spring burst forth from cracks beneath the paving stones, so too does the witch push their boundaries in search for new magics. Knowledge exists only to be expanded upon, reshaped, and reformed to a new and exciting purpose. The world is full of old wisdom, but some advice is too outdated for the modern lives we live now. Okay, so you're all about experimentation, as it says. You're about doing something new, learning from the old, learning from tradition, but always seeking new ways to either, um, I almost said renovate, but to, just have new forms or new outcomes or new ways to utilize old teachings. Okay. Okay. So your magical companion is the giraffe. See the big picture, and then eagle. Spirit has your back. So you have two magical companions. One's a giraffe and one's an eagle. Spirit has your back and see the big picture. And it's interesting because both of these, most birds do have the energy of seeing the big picture, being able to see beyond just what's in front of you, to see the horizon, to see, like to be able to zoom out. So I definitely feel that strongly for you guys. And then you also have Eagle Spirit here saying that Spirit has your back. So not only are you a witch that has, I feel like very strong Aquarius energy, or also Gemini, I guess. You're also very protected by spirit, by the unseen world. So again, you could be someone, your magical girl in particular could be someone that knew that they were magical, or knew that they had a legacy, or just has always been fully tapped in to the other side, which is very cool. Now, your gift, your power is the silent. The silent. You control sound, which is not a traditional power. Okay, so I get why you're experimenting, why you're trying to reinvent or recombobulate is the word. I can't think of the word that I'm trying to use. Maybe Mercury's doing something right now. But yeah, with silent, I feel like you control sound. You control sound waves. You can obviously like put people on mute, take away their voice, like take away their music. But I feel like it expands beyond that. It might just start with like, again, silencing things, but I feel like over time, as you grow, as you learn to harness this power and use it as your own, again, bring out that Aquarius, like rebellion, like innovator, you learn to like amplify music. You learn to harness different sounds. Maybe you can do illusions, where you can make certain sounds out of nowhere. It doesn't actually need a source. You're like a boombox is actually the word I just heard. Boombox, which is okay. That is very cool. That is very cool. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to pull from these cards and see what your actual story is. What is the witch? The silent witch. The silent witch. That sounds cool as shit. You guys can take these stories. You can adapt them into your own. You can turn them into a journal entry. At the end, I'm going to use AI, but I'm going to create an image for you guys to use. So you can screenshot that, download it, do whatever. I might also post this on Instagram. So, but there will be multiple ways for you guys to get that image, okay? So, what is the Silent Witch's story? What is the Silent Witch's story? Okay. Little pile came out here. We have the Devil in reverse. You have the Six of Wands. Are you triumph over the Devil? What is the story? I'm kind of seeing something here. I feel like your power, your power does come from like a darker sense. And again, like this is just for entertainment. I'm not talking about you as a person, all right? This is just your magical girl story. But I feel like your power is tied to like either a demon or the devil or just a malevolent force in your magical world. I feel like it is tied to your family, and this is just something that you were birthed into. So maybe your parents messed with a Ouija board, or they did some kind of seance, or they had some kind of deal that was supposed to bind them. I do see two figures there, so maybe your parents are bound or taken by this malevolent force. But right now, you have the Six of Wands. You've triumphed over this energy. Yes, you have powers that you've adapted that you were born into. And I feel like the silent part is what the malevolent force wanted to use out of you, maybe to silence other people. But again, you like to experiment. You like to try things out and try things new. So that's how you came into adapting your ability to not only take away sound, but also add to it and amplify it. You were able to turn it into something of your own. You have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So your character and the King of Wands. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. So I feel like your character... You did triumph over like the devil. With the Knight of Pentacles, though, I feel like you have a tendency, a habit of gambling, a habit of get rich quick schemes. Why is it so hard to talk? But you have that kind of addiction, gambling addiction tied to you. You don't always plan things out like before you do it. Sometimes you rush into things. So that's something of like your story arc, something that you need to accomplish like within yourself. You do have a companion here in the King of Wands, someone that is very wise to when it comes to getting things done, to accomplishing things. This could be a warrior or a hero is actually like the word that I'm hearing. Someone who has conquered, or I mean, they can even be like a devil hunter or a demon hunter. This is a very cool ass story. But they teach you how to go about things and how to use your energy wisely. For some of you, like this can also be like a destiny, like for yourself. Like you start out as the Nine of Pentacles, again, someone who just wants like the quick results, not really wanting to put in the time and effort into it. That habit of gambling or leaving things up to chance because of the thrill or the rush it gives you. But then you become the king of like just knowing how to move with grace and power and still be in, stay secure, like within yourself. This is a very cool fucking story. It's a very cool story. So the last set of cards I'm going to pull is for your opposition. This is who your main antagonist is. Who's going to be stirring up trouble, all of that fun stuff. I actually might just put it over here. So, card that almost went flying out there. Who is the witches, the silent witches antagonist? You have the Queen of Wands. Oh, lady dear, hast thou no fear? Why or what art thou dreaming here? Sure thou art come over far off seas, a wonder to the garden, to these garden trees. So, and it's, you have a lot of witch energy, pile one. Because this is literally how I see the Queen of Wands or the Queen of Candles in this deck. She is someone that is very gifted in the mystic arts. She is someone that knows about attraction and manifestation, being able to pull certain energies to her and to manipulate the unseen world in her favor. And it again, the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, there is a divine pair here. This could even be like a love interest of yours that works for like evil, that works for the devil or this particular demon that has your parents tied up or had your parents tied up or taken. It's a very juicy ass story. One more card for the antagonist. Ooh, and the Hermit. Okay. Not one of all the crowd to pry into the hour of secrecy. Be silent in that solitude. Be silent in that solitude. So I feel like there's two. There is someone. Oh gosh. Okay. So the queen here, right? She's a witch. She's doing all the witch things, has candles burning, like that's her main mode. And then you have this quiet hermit who might have very similar powers to you when it comes to silence or like utilizing silence. I feel like they were isolated. I feel like they were trapped inside of a cave or disconnected from all reality. Is actually how that wanted to come out. This is so fucking cool. So this is the big bad. This is just a foot soldier. And again, I feel like this Queen of Wands has the potential to flip sides. So they might join you. They might become a lover or just a helper or friend of yours. But then there's this hermit here that this Queen of Wands was working for. And again, they're isolated. They're removed from the world. And in that silence, in that quiet that they were working in, that's where they like utilize their plans. Like that's how they send things out into the world. Oh my gosh. And it's a bird. And there's two different birds here. So you have an evil bird, a raven, it looks like, with a white cloak on. Could literally be a cloaked figure. If you guys have seen the new Percy Jackson series, I'm gonna spoil something, but there is so like fast forward, like if you don't want to hear this, but there is a particular figure, an antagonist that appears like the hermit. It's a crouched, hunched over man with a cane, and I feel like the cane has a lantern or a light on it, and you later on in the series you find out who that person is, and it very much is someone who's isolated, who is kept away from the rest of the world in reality for a very specific reason. And from that place they hatch all of these schemes. That is the energy that you're working with. This is a very old energy, like primordial. Someone who was here for a very long time, someone who's been trapped and isolated for a very long time. It could be that devil energy. Okay. Okay. So I am going to make an image of your magical girl based on the cards that are out here. And then I'm going to hold that up and then I'm going to tell your tale. So give me a second. All right, so this is your magical girl. This is the one that I feel is the most connected to you. I'm also just going to briefly show you the other image that I got. So I feel like this also encapsulates your energy so well. But this is your magical girl story. So you are a natural born witch who was conceived from a contract that your parents made with a malevolent force that in their binding, in their contract, it took them away and left you alone. So growing up, you only had yourself and your spirits to really guide you forward. And then one day, an eagle and a giraffe help you awaken your magical girl powers of the silence, of sound. And in utilizing that, you are able to break free of any hold or entrapment that devil, demon, malevolent spirit had for you. You were able to triumph. Now, as you grow older, you become someone who's very infatuated with gambling or obtaining riches and treasures and not really thinking about the steps or taking the right and resourceful path forward. Along this journey, you meet your companion, which is the King of Wands, a hero and or a demon slayer who teaches you how to utilize your powers in a more efficient way. You also run up against the Queen of Candles, yet another witch who is gifted in spellcraft, namely candle workings, who is a lost companion for the King of Wands, who has a choice to either join you on your path on vanquishing the evil or being lost to the darkness. And as you progress forward, you realize you're going against the Hermit, a locked away ancient power that has stewed in a own void of sound and of life and of light and has been manipulating things your whole entire life and for centuries beyond that. And it's up to you to use your newfound gifts to destroy him. Oh, that's so cool. All right, guys. So that's it. That's all that I see for you guys. Definitely let me know what you think about your story. Does it have any kind of reflection to your own life? And again, if you want to continue on your story, if you want to write this out for yourself, and you feel like sharing it with me, I would happily read all of these. But until then, guys, I will see you. Take care. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your magical girl story. So, we're first going to see what kind of person you are outside of the magic. What's your everyday life like? All of the decks that I'm using are linked in the bio below. And let's see, who is Pile 2 in their everyday life before they discover their magical girl powers? So you have, the Dancer. Self-expression and strength. Self-expression and strength. So I feel like, yeah, like you be popping that thing. I also feel like dancing for you is a form of like rebellion or a form of, you know, really owning who you are in spite of society. I feel like you might be someone that is like part of a race that's shunned. So maybe you're like a troll or you know, an elf, or you know, someone that's just on the outside of society, and you use dance to really express all of these pent up emotions inside of you. And I feel like because you are a dancer, because you are so limber and you do so many things, it has made you physically stronger. Um, Both like just mentally, but also very much physically. Okay, let me read about the dancer. See if there's any more insights for you. Do, do, do. The dancer. Okay, the dancer. The tambourine shivers, filling the air with the sound of silver. Silks carve shapes out of the air as the dancer leaps and spins. Whatever they have left behind to come to the Citadel, that is the past, and this is the now. They bring only themselves into the dance, unashamed to let the world see them for who they truly are. So you came from outside of the city. You're an outsider. And that might be why I was getting that kind of like offset like from everybody else, because maybe the city that you go to, they don't take too kind to strangers, or you know, it's a very well-knit community, and it's hard to kind of break into that when everyone grew up around each other. Okay, so you're out here popping that thing, doing doing your dance. Now you are the only you are the only pile to get multiple cards for both. So I'm going to, that one's yours. This is another one. These two are yours. That's another one. We'll get to this here in a minute. But so the next few cards are your companions. Every magical girl needs some kind of like animal or magical creature companion. And yours are the butterfly. Transformation is beautiful. You definitely have a elaborate transformation sequence when you get into your magical girl powers. Oh, and you also have scarab uh, spirit. Magic works through you. Transformation is beautiful, and magic works through you. Two flying things, two things on birds. Um, the butterfly has a crown, and scarabs, just by themselves, are very closely tied to royalty, because in Egypt, that's where they would put the scarab signal on the pharaoh's coffin. So all of that to say is that I feel like you do have a royal power. You do have a royal power, and it's interesting that because again you're an outsider, but I feel like you might have had like a lineage where your ancestors in the magical world story, not you specifically, but your lineage was royalty, and they could have been royalty in this particular city, and they were outcasted, like they were sent away. And now you come back not really knowing your history. But still carrying that royal power, that royal energy. Okay. Speaking of magic, your particular magic is the mirror. The mirror. Okay, so right off the bat, I heard reflect. So while you're dancing, I feel like your bands or the things that you have around your wrists, um, you can utilize to like repel certain energies or to send certain energies back to where they came from. So if someone shoots a fireball at you, it's going right back to them. Lasers, any kind of magical spells. Some, I feel like some magical spells or some attacks will be able to work around that and still hurt you, but for the most part you can use that mirror to reflect back. Now I feel like as you grow as a magical girl, as you learn more about your abilities and they evolve, you will be able to copy what other people do, much like the My Hero, like kind of like Midoriya, but there's a particular, like there's several people like in that series that can copy other people's powers. I'm also think of Bring Me Your Horizon. I think that's a band, but Bring Me Your Eternity. What? I'll put a clip here, or like I'll put like a picture here, and I'll like actually explain it. But the main character of that is just a giant mirror. They can just copy and utilize other people's strengths, like whether that is turning into a big beast and having that brute force, whether that is turning into a master blacksmith and being able to craft certain things. You will be able to copy, or like Rogue or Mystique from X-Men, being able to see and capture certain energies and then replicate it for yourself, which is really fucking cool. And I feel like the replicating, the mirror side of that, is what is the royal magic that works through you. That's cool as shit. That is cool as shit. Each one of these has been a lot of fun. Like you're only my second one, but still, each one of these has been really, really fun. All right, so what is your actual story? What do you be doing? You have the Hangman. You have the Knight of Wands. You have the Queen of Cups in reverse. That queen has some energy to her. Oop. Am I taking both? I only wanted to pull 4, but they gave me 5. Okay, Ace of Cups in reverse, and then Justice in reverse. Yes. Okay. So, you are someone who was kind of held up in a sort of limbo. You had to sit and watch certain things happen, and you didn't have power or the opportunity to like intervene. So I feel like this pertains like to your family and where you come from. You watched your house, your home, and your community kind of fall apart, and there wasn't a lot for you to do. Like whether it is like you guys were up against an army, or again being ousted from this city that you now dance in. Like there wasn't a lot for you to do. And that was a cornerstone of your character. So as you grew up, you got into dancing because that is a way that you were able to really channel your creativity and channel all of those emotions and channel that sense of needing to take action. You are a Knight of Wands, so you are driven by creativity, by passion. I also feel like you're a very courageous person as well. There's not a lot that intimidates you. But as you are this courageous, passionate dancer, you're up against a Queen of Cups in reverse. Now, this could also be you, maybe because of just of what you've gone through and the situation of how people treated you. It's made it really hard for you to connect with others with this Queen of Cups being out here. This can also be a particular female or a person who's very cold hearted, that's very closed off, um, and overwhelmed by their emotions. Like they have the Ace of Cups right underneath that. So, yeah, there is a closing off of the heart here. I feel like, but I keep going back to like, I feel like that's your story. I feel like that's part of who you are. And at the end of this, like you have the justice in reverse. Yeah, your family, you in particular, you guys were done an injustice. I feel like it was a coup. I feel like you don't trust the law. You don't trust the legal system. You don't trust the royal family and the hierarchy of the city because again, they all work together to get the natural ruler, the royal family out. Anastasia, it's very much Anastasia. Like besides the mirror and the dancer and stuff like that. No, like Anastasia was a dancer. In the animated movie. Or she wanted to be. Yeah, this has very strong like Anastasia vibes. Okay. Now, I'm going to pull for your adversary, your antagonist, the person that is working against you in your story, your Queen Beryl, if you will. But they, since you got these extra cards, they are also a magical girl. Your antagonist is also a magical girl. So very Madoka Magica. It's very much the story arc in Sailor Moon when Chibi Moon goes dark and becomes Dark Lady. Okay, so who is your antagonist? Who is antagonist for the cancer? Oh, Jesus. A lot of things. You have the Ace of Paws. So someone who's very much attracted to money and new opportunities. They could be new money. Someone. Oh, I feel like it's someone in the new royal family because they have new money. They're the new lineage. Can I have one more? Ooh, fuck. In Judgment. Loud blast as many trumpets, there was a harsh grating as 1,000 thunders. Ancestors. Ancestors are on the table. The spirit of those done wrong. In the end, they could be jealous. This is very fucking interesting. So I feel like this is like a prince or something over here. Again, it's like the heir or the heiress to this new line of the ruling family in the city. And they're also really compelled by their ancestors, by the ones that came before them. I feel like either they were traitors in a past life or they were antagonists like to your ancestors, right? And so they waited, they plotted, and then when the time was right, it was their instruction from the spirit world that led to your family getting ousted. This is very interesting. Okay, so for this heir, since they are also a magical person or a magical girl, their companion is the groundhog. Time to let go. Time to let go. So for them, their magical guide is trying to teach them to let go of all this hurt from the past, to let go of this viciousness that their ancestors hold on to so much. But If the magical girl, magical boy, whoever it is, if they don't want to let go, if they're easily succumb to that, then they're like their animal spirit is either going to become corrupted and follow suit, or they're going to lose them. I find it funny that that's a paw print, and then this is a groundhog. I don't think the paw print would be very similar to that, but they are very connected to the earth. They use a lot of earth energy. And the opposite, the float. The float. They have float powers. Levitation. They can fly. Yours is very tied to like My Hero, but you're a gravity or gravity girl. I forgot her name, but I like the one that can touch things and make them float. And suspend gravity. I feel like that's what their power is. And you can copy them. You can steal, at least for a bit, their abilities. But yeah, they float. This is very fucking cool. All right, so I am going to create an image of your magical girl. I'm going to hold it up there. I might also make one for your, I like for the other person too, just so you can see who, like who you're up against. And then I'll tell your whole entire story, okay? So give me a minute. All right, pile two. So this is your magical girl. And just from the image, I'm also going to say maybe another aspect of your mirror abilities is the ability to make duplicates of yourself. Whether these are tangible duplicates or just illusions, I feel like you might be able to cast a different image of yourself. Okay, so this is your story. You are a dancer who returns to a city that once ousted your family line. You dance to express not only your passion for creativity and for performance, but to also get out pent up emotions that you still hold while watching your family be torn down by the very powers that now rule this city. One day, your magical companions, the butterfly and the scarab beetle, awaken a power within you that's only been held by the true ruling family. Tapping into your mirror abilities, you start to combat those in power. Your main adversary is the new prince of this city, who has the power of levitation or floating. And in battling him, you learn that it was his ancestors, vengeful, vile beings, who led to the ousting of your family. Now, this boy, this magical boy, has the opportunity to let go of the past and to help you sit on the throne that is rightfully yours. But you also have a hard time connecting with others just because of what you've witnessed and what your family has gone through. That's it. Oh, so definitely tell me if you like this story. I feel like yours is a great setup to a longer tale. So if you're so inspired, you can definitely take this and turn it into a full story for yourself. You can use it as a journal prompt, or just a creative project for yourself, or, just enjoy the video, like it. So definitely tell me what you think in the comments, and I will see you guys around. Take care. All right, welcome in pile 3. So this is your magical girl story. So we're going to get started with who you are in your everyday life before you find out that you're a magical girl. So who are you? Who is pile 3 in their everyday lives? Who is pile 3 in their everyday lives? Thank you. I was about to say, oh, you got the Acolyte. Okay. New projects, learning. So the Acolyte in this particular deck is someone who studies underneath a priest or someone in a spiritual path. You are a student. There could be some hesitation or, intimidation when it comes to taking on the new role of either becoming the new priest, the new spiritual head of the city, of your sect. But yeah, I feel like you are very gifted in the spiritual sense of texts, of understanding different histories. You could also be like a healer or a cleric, or learning to be a healer or a cleric in that right. All right, already starting out fun. I will also tell you, pile 3, like this is the card that I got in my magical girl story. So, hey sis. All right, so your magical companion, because every magical girl, guy, person needs one. Your companion, ooh, it's the stag. Take the lead. Now, stag does have very strong royal ties to it, with the antlers like being the crown. So this energy could come from a royal procession. Like there's another pile in this deck that has very strong royal powers tied to them. But the stag here can also just be a leader, an elder in that right. And I feel like, yeah, there is this kind of sense of like, I'm going to have to be the leader. I'm going to have to step into that role. And I'm intimidated, or I don't know if I can step up. I don't know if I can do it. But they help you take the lead. They help you fulfill this purpose inside of you. So when this magical companion shows up, they awaken this power inside of you, which is the illusion. Yeah, if you were pulled to a different pile, go and watch that pile and come back. Because yeah, it's very similar in that regard. So the power of illusion, the power of I actually just heard foxfire. Maybe you guys have very strong fox spirits, or foxes are just strong with you, or kitsunes, like from Inuyasha. But the ability, or Naruto, the shadow clones, but being able to create certain illusions. I also feel like there might be a certain realm or world of illusions that you're able to tap into certain guys. You can make people see what they want to see, or take them to illusionary realms, which is very cool. Very, very cool. All right, so now I'm going to see what your story is, what you be doing. Yours is very straightforward, pile 3, I will say. All right, what is the story for pile 3? What is the story for the Acolyte Illusion Magical Girl? You have the 10 of Wands in reverse. You have a lot of weight. Yeah, like you have a lot of burdens. A lot of burdens have been placed on you, and you don't have a lot of help. That might also be another reason why you're so hesitant to move into this role. I also see, maybe for in your story, pile 3, that you create an illusion of yourself to help run your sex while you go out and have your adventure. A lot of cards just came out. I'm gonna take these. You have the Knight of Swords in reverse. You have the Four of Cups. And you have the Fool card at the end there. Yeah. The Knight of Swords is someone who, to me, usually is either like a liar or someone who bends the truth, bends information for their own good, or just because they're a gossip, or because they just like run their damn mouth all the damn time. But I feel like for you, it's you bending light, bending information, or bending the truth through your illusions. Four of Cups here. Your guides, particularly your stag spirit, try to get you to understand that there's more, like there's an easier way to go about things. But you're kind of hard-headed. You can only see what's in front of you. So you only see the job. You only see the hurdles. You only see how much it weighs on you or how much it waned on the previous leaders. And you don't want that. And yet your guys are literally telling you, girl, it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be that way. Like there's another option. Look beyond just what's in front of your face. Your story is very tied to truth and seeing truth and not being distracted with what's right in front of your face, like the smoke and mirrors, being able to see through it. And then the Fool card here at the end, I feel like you do take on this role, but you do so in a very new way. So if you're like the town's medicine person, right, and everyone comes to you like with their sickness, and the previous leaders would take the sickness inside of themselves and heal the person, but it again would weigh them down over and over and over again. You, like when you move into this role, you find out a way to do it in a new way. It might be through illusions. So you make it an illusion and then you put the sickness in the illusion and then that evaporates, taking the disease away, curing the person, but also not putting that burden on you. Yeah, there's something new. There's something fresh that you bring to the table. And because you do it, it's a new chapter, not only for yourself, but for your lineage. So like all of the next leaders, spiritual gurus, the hierophants that come after you, they will have more options and they don't have to do it how it was done before. It won't be as burdensome for them. Okay, this again, I'm going to remind you, this is part of your magical girl story. I'm not talking about you specifically, Pile 3. But, if it's resonating, if it's hitting, you take what you will. All right. So lastly, I'm going to pull for your antagonist. This is the person that is going to be your main villain, your the one that you're up against. I've been getting two, so we'll start out with someone who is like a foot soldier, and then over here will be like the big bad. It might be different for you, but we'll see. So you have the Four of Paws, the Four of Coins. I felt irresistibly impressed with a presentment of some vast good fortune impending. Someone who's very tied to wealth. They're greedy. They want money. This could be someone that's easily in your sect. So again, you are being fashioned to be the leader, but this person wants the position only so they can make more money, or have fame, or have fortune that comes with that role. And again, you just want to be free. All right. Is there anything else for the antagonist for pile 3? And you have the 4, 2 4s. 4 of Candles in reverse. I loved her with a love more fervent than I have believed in possible to feel for any Denzian of earth. And it's 4 of Candles in reverse. So, your antagonist, not only are they in it like for the money and the wealth, they will gather people together, not in harmony, not in celebration, but like to rally them against others, to harness certain hate and disdain, chaos. They form riot parties to go out into the world. And that's not what this particular, like, that's not what this position is all about. But that's how they want to take it, again, so they can get more money. They want to raise an army. And armada is actually the word that came to mind. To utilize their position to create an army. And it's up to you to use your illusionary powers to stop them. And to take this role, to take this journey on by yourself. For the betterment not only of you, but also your community. Okay, pile 3. So I'm going to make an image of your magical girl, and I'm going to show that while I tell your full story. Okay? So give me a minute. All right, pile 3. So this is what your magical girl looks like. 3rd arm and all. You gotta love AI. But yeah, you standing in front of this crowd of smaller children, it looks like. But again, you are their leader. And I feel like something happened so that the previous leader was gone. All right? So your story goes like this. After the leader of your spiritual sect goes missing, the burden and the weight falls to you, a previous acolyte who's now forced in this position of a leader. Doubting yourself, you go out into the forest and run into your magical companion, the stag, who not only teaches you that you are the right one for this role, they awaken your dormant magical powers of illusion. Now, through this, you have to learn how to communicate properly, how to move into this role and not be weighed down by the same weight that has burdened this line for so long. And into coming into your own and mastering your abilities, you learn how to not only create a new chapter for yourself that's less burdensome, but you open up a new way forward for all those who will come after you. Now, your antagonist is someone that wants this spiritual role so that they can gain power and money, and they will use this position not to gather the masses and help them heal, but to create an army for them to take over the world. And that's your story. All right, pile 3. So you guys can obviously take this prompt and create a full narrative for yourself. Whether you want to share that with me or our community here or not, it's totally up to you. If you do want to share, you can leave it in the comments or just tell us, if this resonated with you anyway, or if you liked it. Um, yeah. Thank you guys and take care. All right, welcome in pile four. All right, last but certainly not least. So we're going to start off with your everyday person. This is who you are before you discover your magical girl gifts. Who you are just in your everyday, your daily life, your daily job. Pile four. Thank you. You have the Walker, the unknown journey. So I feel like you're some kind of a outdoors person. You might hike or go on several travels by yourself. I do see three birds here. Three little birds sat on my window. Usually when I see three birds, I always think of that song, and just like the song says, everything is going to be okay. So I feel like you have animal companions, or you get guidance from nature, from plants. I'm actually going to read from the book to give you some more details about the Walker. And if you want any of the decks that I'm going to be using today, they will be linked in the bio. So you have the Walker, the Miss Walker, Street Talker. Okay, the Walker. Like their sibling, the Pilgrim, the Walker is bound to an eternity of journeys. The Walker constantly seeks new experiences in the unknown nature of transition, an air of sadness ever on their heels. Whatever they're searching for, or whatever they're running from, they haven't yet found their answer. A sense of regret seems to be coloring everything lately, sucking away the joy of the journey. Yeah, so it feels like something has set you on this journey, whether it is you're searching for something, a home, a place to connect with people. Actually, connect is what I feel. Or you might be running away from tragedy, from sadness, or just disappointment in the past. And it sounds like, this has worked for you for a while, but now you're getting a little either homesick or just tired, fatigued, depressed even. In the journey, the walking is not giving you what it used to give. That booty don't do what it used to do. Daniel. Okay, so next we're going to meet your magical companion. I'm going to freak out if it's a bird. It is a bird! Okay, it's a parrot. Watch your words. So you have a parrot that shows up. Yet another bird. Birds might be significant for you just in your everyday life. So, but a bird shows up, a parrot. You can think of Iago or any other parrot that comes to mind. But this parrot tells you to watch your words, to watch what you say. You might have the gift of gab. You might have goat mouth. Just saying that, like, what you say has a tendency to come real, and that certainly can be a thing for you in this magical girl story. They said journey. The word journey just keeps coming back in your magical girl journey. All right. So as you meet this companion, and they're like, "Watch your words," they unlock this magical gift of yours, which is the return. The return. So you have a way. I'm feeling like it's been a while since I've watched Cardcaptor, so I don't know all of the details, but I feel like for the return, this is you being able to turn back time. This is you being able to even go to turn back time, but even travel backwards in time. So you might be able to journey back into the past And I see it two different ways. Like one, like going back to watch your words, if you're in certain areas of times where things haven't happened, it's going to be very important for you not to mess up the flow of time, the sequence of events. Meaning, like, if you meet your grandparents, like, you can't necessarily say, hey, I'm your grandchild, or hey, grandma, don't take the stairs on August 5th because that's how you die. Because that's going to change, like, that's going to cause a ripple in time. They actually said rift. I feel like there's certain rifts and things in the past. And that might be very tempting because, again, you might be walking away from tragedy, from pain. So having this time turner type of energy, kind of like Hermione from The Prisoner of Azkaban, you might be tempted to go back and right certain wrongs. And there's a possibility that there are some things that you're able to like manipulate or change, but on the front, on the big picture stuff, you have to let certain things play out as it is. And I feel like that's going to be a very big lesson for you. I'm also feeling like as your powers adapt, as you grow, as your return powers evolve, you might be able to make to pinpoint a certain point in time and be able to revert back to that like specific time. So let's say you're trying to save someone like from a burning house, and you pick a point, while the person inside is still safe, and you go through different trials and you try different things to reach them, but if you fail, you're always able to return back to that specific point. This is really fucking cool. I like pile fours. Y'all's is cool. All right. So I'm next going to pull what your story is, what actually happens, kind of what your journey is. Ooh. You have the death card. Yeah. Yeah, there's some kind of death. And usually death in tarot is not about death like itself. It's about transformation, something ending so something else can begin. But for you, yeah, I feel like it's a tragic death. It's the loss of a loved one that really sets you on your course, and now you're this journey men. I keep wanting to say men, but journey woman or journey person, however you identify. And this is what you're running away from, is that death. And yes, it has changed you fundamentally. It has changed who you are, like what your perspective is in life. Wow. It could literally be someone being hit by a car. You have the Five of Pentacles in reverse, a loss. I feel like you gave up a lot. You gave up a lot of your wealth, a lot of your personal like belongings in life when this happens. Now the Five of Pentacles is in reverse, so I feel like during this journey you do regain some of that material stuff. It might be by way of friendship or companionship. It doesn't have to be like tangible things, but I feel like in your journey you are recovering what you've lost. You have the Magician in reverse and the Emperor in reverse. So usually when I get to these two, it's like what's your personal, like your character flaw, or like what you might struggle with as you develop. So I feel like first, like your magic is either sealed, or like you have a hard time connecting with it. That could be where the watch your words comes from, because you constantly say like, I can't do this, or that's not possible, or I'm not talented enough. but that itself, you having those limiting thoughts is what creates a blockage for you. So I feel like that's going to be something very big in your character arc, getting over that insecurities and finding self-confidence and knowing that you are the magician, you are able to tap into this time power of sorts. And then lastly, like, you have the Emperor in reverse. So the person that you have lost could be your father figure. It could also be your father figure that imprinted this, like this magician in reverse energy into you. Maybe in this reality, not you, Pile 4. It might be hitting, it might be correlating. But for the sake of your magical girl, your father in this universe has told you that you're not capable, probably because you feel responsible for this death. I feel like this is a sister or a friend, likely a sister or like a sibling that you lost. And your father was like, well, you should have been able to do something. You're useless. You're powerless. You can't do things. And again, that creates a blockage for you. Part of your Five of Pentacles is also a card of like being ostracized, being left out, not being included. So I feel like your father might have disowned you, might have cast you out of the home or cast you out of the town or the kingdom or whatever, because he is an emperor, so he could be a king. But I feel like it's the father like disapproval that set you out on your journey. Yeah, and I feel like part of your story is going back to that, like going back to that space, trying to save that person, and then things going awry, and then having to come to terms with no, they have to pass in order for things to be as they need to be. Damn. I think you and maybe was it Pile 1 that had the tragic? Yeah, I think it was Pile 1 that also had a tragic backstory. I mean, they all kind of do. But damn. Okay, Pile 4. So next I'm going to pull your adversary card. This is who you're up against. Like this is your Queen Beryl. This is your witches. However you want to, your Dark Star enemies. Fell on the ground. Not all the way. The World. It's all that we see or seem, but a dream within a dream. You have a very powerful adversary, Pile 4. Very powerful. The World card to me is one of time, and I feel like they are also someone who has been on many journeys. They're someone who has traveled through time multiple times and has tried to affect certain things and has become so disillusioned to other people, how the world works. I feel like they're very disconnected and they're only going over all of their tragedies, all of their like mistakes. And that's what really motivates them to be an antagonist for you, because as they see you taking on this gift and writing past wrongs and just fixing these time rifts, they constantly try to tell you that it's not worth it, it's not possible. So you have this inner monologue like disconnecting you like from your magic, but you also have this antagonist outside to be like, look, I've done all the things, I've been through all of time, and I'm still fucked. So what hope like do you have, girl? But you have the Six of Candles. You are rich, respected, admired, beloved. You are happy as I once was. You were happy as I once was. Yeah. This can even be like a future version of you, Pile 4. A future version that has gone through everything and like sees you be happy, see you be triumphant. But again, they're like, I've been there it doesn't work out. Stop being happy. Stop being joyous. Be with me and wallow in my fear, in my sorrow. This is giving very strong Homura from Madoka Magica, the time magical girl. I could easily see that. It also like reminds me of Fate Stay Night. I believe it's that one where there's the future version of the main antagonist or the main hero in the story. Slight spoiler if you haven't watched it. But yeah, both of those, I definitely feel timey-wimey alternate versions of you battling. Damn. Okay. So I'm going to make a picture, an image of your magical girl. I'll hold that up to the screen as I tell your whole entire story, okay? Or at least the beginning part. Give me 1 sec. Okay, Pile 4. So this is what your magical girl looks like. One of the coolest I've made today. I'm adding both because I feel drawn to both images. So take what you will. Feel free to screenshot it. Use it on your phone. I will also be uploading these on Instagram if you want a different version of that. So this is your story. After suffering a tragic loss of a close loved one, your character, your magical girl, is expelled from their family home. Now forced on a non-ending journey, you must find a home or answers to your heartache. Along your path, you encounter a parrot companion who tells you to watch your words, especially your self-doubt and self-deprecating. This spirit companion awakens your returnal powers, a power over time to travel backwards or to return to a specific time. As this awakens, you try multiple times to not only right the wrongs in your own life, but of those around you. And it's through this journey that you discover not everything can be fixed. Your main antagonist along this ride is an older version of you who has the same powers and has become so disillusioned, disheartened, and disconnected from the world that all they want is for everything to end. They constantly try to get you to understand their pain and hurt while you still move forward to find a peaceful resolution. Okay, that's it. So you can definitely use that as a prompt for your own story. And if you want to keep it private, absolutely fine. If you want to share it here, feel free in the comments. Or just tell me if the story resonated with you at all. I love that we're ending on yours because I love timey-wimey stuff. So this was right up my alley. All right, Pile 4. Well, that's all I got. You guys take care, okay? Until next time.